Stickers N Scuffs are proud supporters of Laps for MD. Laps for MD helps those with muscular dystrophy by raising funds, supporting MD charities through racing. We encourage those who are not already a part of the Laps for MD family to check them out on social media and their website, lapsformd.blogspot.com.
Race fans, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Stickers N Scuffs Junior co-host, the Bunn Sons. Let's go green, boys. Take it away, Owen and Riley.
Today we have Joe Chisholm Jr. and Sr. of Racetime Radio on Sirius XM Canada Talks.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, guys. Before we get started, albeit at different stages of fatherhood, Joe Sr., we're sitting here with our boys. Good to have you guys here.
Hey, great being with you. I'll tell you what, enjoy the time while they're young, because look, they do get older.
Yeah, it happens fast.
And if you're fed right, you'll look like me at the end.
Oh, like we were talking before we started recording, they're growing super fast, and when you guys get to see them again, you'll see how much bigger they've gotten. But anyway, I won't talk over. This is their segment, so I'll back out.
We love doing the podcast with our dad, just like you guys do with Racetime Radio. Joe Jr., tell us about doing the radio show with your dad, please.
Yeah, for sure. So, it started out the Racetime Radio at the very beginning. It was on one station. It was on AM 560. My dad and Fred Wallace and Bob Sanders, started it up. And it was a segment on AM 560. And over time they got rolling, week after week, and he was getting it in the truck I think it was a Monday night, and driving, into Owen Sound, which was like a half-hour drive away, and he fell in love with it, obviously, and it was growing, really quickly. And he said one night, he said, "Come join, come sit in on a broadcast." And that was what year would that have been? That would have been 2006, 2007.
Yep.
So it just kind of built from there, and we had a lot of fun with it, obviously, and we've spent a tremendous amount of time together doing it, and it's been a really cool experience. It's taken us to some really cool places, that's for sure. It's been whether we on the shop tour side, we did that for basically an entire off season through the winter months back in, I guess, 2010, 2011, something like that. As well, doing the live broadcasts. I've done a handful of those with them. They've got a full team that does that. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind. We've been on 3 different channels on Sirius XM, and obviously we've got great streaming partners and all of those things. So it's just been a tremendous amount of fun, and it's 1 hour a week. You can't yell at me.
Yeah. 2 hours.
Yeah, but you've got a break in there when we throw it back to the channel.
That's right.
And then it's one more hour.
1 more hour. Yeah.
Total family thing. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chisholm, tell us about working with your son on Racetime Radio.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has grown up just like you guys. He's growing up in this sport. And you know what? He has probably, I don't know, he knows more than I have forgot. I can guarantee you that. He is in love with this sport, as we all are. And it's been a lot of fun. And I look forward to every Sunday night. I can tell you that, because it's even though it's a different show each week, the planning for it comes together, and it just comes together real fast, and away we go. Each and every week, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the same on this side too.
Yeah, do you guys sort of get together and have like a little brainstorm session pre-show? That's kind of, to a lesser extent, that's sort of what we do. we have our little collaboration session and bounce ideas off each other and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it does. And, you know, it's funny because we try and take a look at what is news this week. And then we're looking at what's news today because we're doing it on a Sunday, which normally post most races. And, you know, there's so much stuff that crops up, especially when you're doing it, you know, national or international. There's so many different storylines. It's now pick one.
Yeah.
You know, like we've got enough to fill probably 5 hours and
For sure.
Yeah.
2 hours. Sometimes the timeline gets real tight.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It would be almost, you know, with this deal here, it would be almost beneficial to do a preview show heading into the weekend and then a post view show on the other side of the weekend. Now in the wintertime that doesn't make sense, but in the summertime, you know, there's so much to look forward to every week that we have to spotlight what's coming up. But you know, when we get, you know, across the country, when there's a winner in New Brunswick and there's a winner in BC and there's also, you know, a handful of winners here in Ontario, it gets really condensed and really busy. So, but our guests, you know, do a good job. This past weekend we had 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
It was 6.
Yeah, 6 guests.
You know, and it's got to be quick. You got to kind of fire off, get your information out, and kind of jump off and throw another one in. So it's a lot of fun. We've been rocking and rolling, and I love what you guys are doing as well, by the way.
You're doing a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Yeah, thank you.
I bet working with DJ is like working with family. How long have you been working with or at DJ Kennington Racing?
Yeah, so I started in 2018. So I came back from the US and I was looking for a gig, you know, that I could spot and, you know, be a part of a team again. And it was 2018. I started with Ranger. He said, you know, we've got an opening, and he moved spotters around because at that point he was running, you know, the Andrew Ranger portion himself, and then we always had a rental car. And originally I was going to spot for DJ, showed up to the racetrack and race number 1, and he's like, "You're with Ranger," and I was like, "Okay, cool." That's just how it worked out. Worked with Ranger for 2 years. You're right, it is like working with family. A lot more fat jokes than normal family. But you know, he feeds me, he takes me to cool racetracks all over, and it is like working with family. The whole bunch, really. You know, people ask, like, you know, you're not the driver, why go and spend every weekend with teams and work? And it's like spending time with a big family. You know, we have a handful of, you know, whether it be 9 guys one weekend or 13 guys another. The group is so tight. We have such a good time. You know, it's like a boys' weekend every time that we go leave the house to go to the racetrack, and we have a lot of fun with it. It's really cool. And then as well, you know, over now it's kind of changed and morphed a little bit because I'm working with Rick Verburn, who I've worked with for a long time. But Verburn is now driving in the late model series. So I'm working with DJ and as well with Rick Verburn when he races in, whether it be pro late model invitationals or a handful of APC races too. So it's there's a lot of miles to be put down for 2021 for sure.
That's awesome. Can't wait to be back at the track. And it's nice that this weekend we're finally getting, although we had prior engagements, so we're not going to a racetrack, unfortunately, but it's great that things are starting to open up again, and sponsors are getting exposure, tracks are getting ticket revenue, and everybody's getting back at it. Feels like things we're over the hump now.
Thank goodness.
Hopefully.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for joining the Bunn Sons and Dad. Good luck with Racetime Radio.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you, Joe Jr. at sunset.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into the Bunn Sons. Make sure to check out the Stickers and Scuffs podcast on social media. Be sure to leave a comment and let the boys know how they did.